Look at this boat full of giant crocodiles. Do you know when they were caught? You must be curious. It's a mistake to think at night. The hunters caught it before the storm. Each of these crocodiles is very big, and the resistance wasn't even strong. Read on for more details. At 4 o'clock in the morning, Troy, king of the swamp, get your entire team together, because the storm will make landfall tonight. And then Don got sick. Can't be part of the rest of the hunt. Troy began to negotiate a new policy. Follow Kimchi and Troy to the swamp. The two are facing the threat of the storm. Also began to go all out. After all this storm, all hunters will be in the future time. There will be no more chances to arrest. After the two came to the first trap, Kimchi is right up front, cut the rope from the tree, pulling the crocodile to the surface. Although this thing is struggling a lot, but under the control of Kimchi, there were no surprises. It's even in his control, until Troy found an opportunity. It seems that the storm forced the speed at which they're arresting. That's fast, I don't know how much. Even now, they're going fast, but they still have 45 traps. No arrests have been made. This makes the two very nervous. Daniel at the same time. After hearing the storm coming ashore from nearby, the whole person that is very uncomfortable. You know, he owns a store right here in St. Mary's. There's a lot of valuables in here. If we can't move it today, followed him to his destination. Get on the excavator right away. But he felt something wrong after he started it. It's called a jiggle. Fortunately, this situation did not last long. It was quickly put on the shelf. But time is still tight. After all, he doesn't want his stuff. Like everyone else's. It was all destroyed in the face of the storm. It's just north of him. Joey and Carly get ready. Take care of the last few traps already laid. Although the two were not at St. Mary's. But they're not slow either. If those things are destroyed, that would have serious consequences. Not only will they not be able to open next year, there won't even be an income. After Carrie pulled the rope out of the water, Joey took it, start pulling the crocodile up to the surface. When the two men saw it, they became excited. Joey even looked at the giant alligator. The strength in his hands is much greater, in case anything in the water gets away. Carly's been seeing crocodile heads all the time. He raised his gun right away. It's a bullet to the head. The two men, after harvesting the crocodile, quickly pulled it to the boat and insert the label. They didn't even celebrate. After all, now they're away from a storm. Less than 4 hours to go. Ronnie and Timmy on the other side. The two men left the open marsh, deeper into the inland swamps. And the reason they came here, mostly because the storm is coming. It's too dangerous to stay out there. And crocodiles don't get much to eat over there. It only goes to this depth. That's why they're here early. A lot of traps were laid, preparing for future shutdowns. I envy them for doing that. I have to go to work every day. Never had a storm shut down. Timmy is hooking the rope. Suddenly I was hurt. This gave Timmy a fright. But luckily Ronnie grabbed the rope. But when he pulled the crocodile, almost got whipped by his tail. Looks like something in this water. Still got a bit of temper. Not just run away, but Ronnie's got it under control. It's useless. After all, Timmy hasn't loaded the gun yet. This is kind of funny. When the crocodile was about to break free, Timmy did everything, too. Straight to the stern. It was just a couple of bullets at him. Wow, this crocodile's got a bit of a life force. None of this is dead, and Timmy has to make it up. After the two men pulled the crocodile into the boat. Turns out this one's like 12 feet long. No wonder this thing is so resilient. It seems the old saying is true. Big is good. And on the other side of Laron and on the pork chop. And because of the storm, I came to a remote place. Go on a crocodile hunt. Because the distance is too far. It took them almost 2 hours before we reached the water where we were going. I have to say, they are very brave. This storm is coming. They still have that far to go. Not afraid to end the hunt. Can't you get back to port? As if they were facing difficulties. It's not just the distance. And this underwater branch, it's such a small walk. They spent hours and hours together. But good thing to get out of this one. That's where they set up their traps. Looks like they came together for a reason. It's just a trail. It shows how many crocodiles there are. The pork chop is holding the rope. The pulling started right away. Laron was standing by with his gun in readiness. The moment the crocodile appeared, that's a big splash. If you put him in the diving sport, the score was definitely the lowest on the court. Two judges on board. That a bit of a shock after seeing that. It just ended its life. That's a hell of a way to stop him from performing. After they pulled him into the boat, I found the fish a little small. It's a little out of place for a diver. But at this level, it's still pretty good. Meanwhile, Callum and Chase. Because Don's no longer working together. To be honest, I like these two. They're all in good health. The whole body is full of endless strength. Should be before the storm. A lot of crocodiles were caught. Not as sick and weak as I am. As the two men came to the trap, Callum will approach the boat immediately. That's when I saw the crocodile. It seems very leisurely. This gives them the energy to pull up the rope directly. How could he have let it go back to sleep? Probably just got pissed off. When Callum saw the opportunity, just put a bullet in the gator. The end of his safe life. I guess I was right. Young is good. I got one in the first place. Let's look at Troy. They're also very good. In this short time, I've already caught several crocodiles. Not even a small one. It's just that they seem to be. The storm has begun to take its toll. But it comes in fits and starts. Before they come to a new trap. I'm not getting any hits anymore. Even Kimchi, after he caught the rope, he just pulled the alligator out and keep it on the side of the boat. After a hard pull on the pickle, suddenly found this crocodile size that is called a huge. It seems to have been discovered. The level of resistance has also become more intense. Ran away from Kimchi several times. But Troy took a shot from the side. Put it in the water for the dry head. After the crocodile was put on the boat, Troy tagged it right away and start moving on to the next location. St. Mary's on the other side. Joey and Carly also finished the hunt. Came back here and started helping Daniel. Recovery and protection of household finances. The river is high because of the previous storm. Daniel's ankle is where it is now. It makes him feel horrible right now. Everyone in the rematch. I was afraid it would happen this time. For this, they must hurry. Keep everything safe. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy. After getting caught in the rain before a storm, the crocodile hunt begins again. But the rain is gone. But the consequences have also been felt. The water is rising here, making their traps less useful than they were in the first place. There are even many traps on it. They're all just hanging chicken legs. There is no sign of a crocodile. Fortunately, the two men saw that a trap had appeared. Otherwise, we all thought it was behind. I don't even get a bite from a crocodile. It's all going to have to be rearranged. After Timmy hooked up the rope, he grabbed the gun right away. Ronnie is also pulling crocodiles out of the water. There seems to be something wrong with this fish. The level of resistance was not very strong. A little soft, even. Maybe it's the rain that just fell. Timmy jumped at the chance, of course. It just ended its life. It seems in this world, human evolution is better. After pulling the crocodile into the boat, look at the clouds. It feels like it's going to rain again. Ronnie was quick to tag it and start moving on to the next location. Let's look at Laron and the pork chop. The two of them also initiated the force. 9 crocodiles have been caught so far. It's too much to believe. They were able to do it in such a short time. To catch that number of crocodiles, you only get pushed a little bit. I knew the potential was there. Then it began to rain again. Fortunately, it's not big yet. It doesn't affect either of them. The hunt for the crocodile. But this one's a little tough. They haven't done it yet. The fish put up a fierce fight. Can be pulled off the pork chop. It's still contained to the side of the boat. Laron even found an opportunity. I just took a shot at it. After solving this one problem, the pair discovered another problem. That is whether to continue. Because the weather is already bad. If the hunt continues, there might be no going back. And their actions now have given results. At the same time, St. Mary's. People are still trying to clean up. Now the storm is much closer. This makes Daniel very nervous. Let them keep busy. There's nothing to say here. Callum and Chase on the other side right now. It's starting to rain here too. So the storm is already getting closer and closer to landing. It makes them both more nervous. Do not hesitate on the road, right in front of the trap. They also came forward immediately. Look at that huge system of crocodiles. 2 people that is called a happy. Although the crocodile put up a strong fight. It even got a little out of Chase's hands, but still controlled, just being pulled around in there. Callum finally got his chance, sent straight to heaven. After pulling the crocodile into the boat, they decided to call it a day, go home and prepare for the storm. Ronnie and Timmy on the other side are anxious, but they've caught a lot of crocodiles. I don't know what you're worried about. Following the two men to the trap. Look at those bubbles on the water. It feels like something down here is not small. Ronnie quickly grabbed the rope and pulled the crocodile out of the water. And this is where you show up. The two made sure the crocodile was really not small, or Ronnie wouldn't have been pulled down, even though he let go of the rope. But the crocodile did not break free. When Ronnie got it under control again, that's when Timmy saw an opportunity. It's a bullet to the head, even if they make it. This is a 12-foot alligator. But this isn't far from a storm. But they're always pushing them to speed up. After all, he had not yet reinforced his home. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi, the two were on a hunting trip, found a moving house. It shows the people here. I'm getting myself out of harm's way. And yet these two are still here on this hunt. But in order to ensure that the label is filled in, Pickle and Troy chose to continue. With the rope being grabbed, crocodiles also surfaced. I don't know if it's the weather. Every alligator they catch, they are very large, but not as strong as before. Kimchi is taking it easy on the side. Troy was even quick to aim. When this crocodile died, they immediately pulled him onto the boat. Without any celebration. Looks like this is approaching the storm. Or let two people not so celebratory mood. Looking at Daniel on the way out. They're still very fast. Everything basically. All evacuations have been completed. All that's left is this giant shrimping boat. Don't look at the size of this thing. But as soon as the wind hits 100 miles, then we're going to have a big problem with this ship. After finishing all the preparations, the two men also untied the rope and evacuate to this safe location. You can see it on the road. Before, because of improper evacuation, and the boat that sank beside the river. This is what happens when you don't prepare properly. But then the ship suddenly stopped and sounded the alarm. This makes Daniel a little nervous. After being examined by Joey, confirmed it was the result of an overheated engine. So he ran out quickly, start pouring in the coolant. But even if Joey gets a bottle more, Daniel still can't get the boat to move. This makes the two people anxious. At this time, the Duffy family, Jacob and little Willie, not out hunting for alligators. It's always been here. Prepare for the storm. This is Jacob, after all. I bought it a while ago. It can't be ruined by this storm. If something goes wrong this year, then he's going to lose everything. At the same time, Kimchi, we're done hunting for the day. He is now moving his family. After all, the house is not so safe. Let's look at Laron and Kimchi. Two people are soaking in the rain in the swamp. They knew about the storm. Landing is imminent, but still wanted to check the last trap. These two are really good, too. Pull the crocodile out with the pork chop. He held on to the rope. I was almost pulled under the water by it. The pork chop didn't let go until Laron found an opportunity and sent it straight to heaven. After pulling the crocodile into the boat, immediately began the return journey. After all, if this doesn't go back, there will be no security for that life. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy, and still hunting in the swamp. Looks like they decided, let's not go back and reinforce the house. I'm going to start with the alligator right in front of me. Get your own boat. When the crocodiles made their move, the fighting between the two sides began. I just didn't expect it. This crocodile is a little strong on the outside. I didn't even put up a fight. Timmy shot him right there. After pulling the crocodile into the boat, found a lot of crocodiles today. A lot more than usual. Let's look at Daniel and Joey. Did not expect two people are still in play stalemate. But things are a little different now. Daniel pulled it off. He started the boat. Looks like Lady Luck is still on their side. With Daniel will ship at the destination of the trip, which is where this ship is hiding. Even though it looks like a rough place. But that's a scientific calculation. Stop the boat here. It is perfectly possible to survive the crisis. Two men after securing the boat. And that's the end of the day. After all the hunters had evacuated the waters, the storm also made landfall of its own accord. The wind was blowing at 100 miles an hour. There was also water on the roads. This place has been through a night of baptism. It is also a piece of misery. Joey and Daniel are also starting to return home. Looks like they parked the boat here. There is no problem at all, although nothing happened to them here. But at Duffy's on the other side. But something went wrong. It's not just the canopy outside that's cracked, and the fuel tank underneath. There have also been problems of varying degrees. As miserable as this looks, but Jacob still kept those. The vital facilities are secured, although there is a gap in the canopy outside. But it looks like glass. It could be a skylight. It should look good. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode.